Welcome back. There's a new cookbook coming out this fall that celebrates Alexandria's best restaurants and features recipes that honor the city's history.
It's called A Taste of Alexandria, and joining us now to tell us all about it is best-selling cookbook author Howie Southworth. Good to have you.
Nice to be here.
Okay, so you've taken a lot of stories. What is A Taste of Alexandria all about?
So I'm kind of a history of food nerd. And I'm a culinary school grad. I started teaching and writing after culinary school, not becoming a chef. And in the past years, I've done a lot of research about where I've lived the longest of my life, Alexandria, 22 years and counting.
Wow.
And I've eaten Alexandria my entire time here. So the history of the food was a mystery to me, and it's not written about a whole lot. And I've had this idea for a number of years. Alexandria Living Magazine and I had a love connection because they wanted to do a restaurant book for years. And so what we decided is something in between. So A Taste of Alexandria is a 50-plus recipe book from top restaurants in Alexandria, favorite dishes that have some touch point to Alexandria's history. Now, it may not be a throwback dish. It may not be an ingredient specifically. It may be a story that relates to an ingredient. But in a lot of cases, it's the base ingredient of some dish or some methodology in the cooking that relates directly to the stories of Alexandria's past.
You're featuring one of those recipes for us today, right?
I am.
What do we have here right in front of us?
From Ray Café, which is in Del Rey, right off of Mount Vernon Avenue on Howell. They do a wonderful Wagyu beef carpaccio. Okay? And I'll get into the history of why I chose that dish and why they're very proud of it. Sometimes a restaurant dish is not about complexities and how difficult it is to make. Sometimes it is about exquisite ingredients, right? So in this case, a Wagyu beef tenderloin. A Wagyu beef is a Japanese-style beef. The level of marbling is outstanding. The tenderness is outstanding, and it is a top-notch ingredient. So where a consumer may not be buying that on a regular basis at home, they may go to a restaurant to enjoy it, but you can buy tenderloins of beef.
It looks like this? No.
Right. So this is actually a piece of tenderloin of beef that's been in the freezer, and the reason why it's in the freezer is sometimes delicate ingredients are difficult to deal with. And so when you put it in the freezer and then you slice it, and I'll show you a couple slices myself, with either a mandolin, a French mandolin, or with a very, very sharp knife.
Step back.
Right, and so carpaccio being the bellwether of our carpaccio is the thinness of the piece of meat. And so as you can see, it's a little bit harder of a piece of meat right now. And so when I slice it, it's going to be about 1/8 of an inch thick, and you think, well, that's not carpaccio, right? And in fact, it's not right now. However, with a deli slicer at a restaurant, it's incredibly easy to get very, very incredibly thin slices, and or at home, it's easy with a knife to get slices like this. So when I take this parchment paper and I place the slices.
I see where we're going now.
Oh, I'm not pounding it this time. You are.
Would you like to pound it out, Ellen? Go for it.
You had to work hard yesterday, Kristen.
Use the flat side.
There we go.
The flat side. Okay.
And don't be too tough. Be gentle, but you're slamming it down to be flat. Excellent.
Like
Look at
that?
this. Yeah. You're trying to get it to a 1/16 of an inch from 1/8.
So real quick, Howie, before we run out of time,
do you want to give this wing?
What is kind of the history behind this, the story?
So Alexandria is not the center of beef industry in the United States of America. However, one anecdote about the Civil War era. Ulysses Grant was developing the Army of the Potomac down in Orange, Virginia, needed to feed 125,000 men, 2.7 million rations over the course of a 5-day campaign. So they took a railway from Alexandria to Orange that normally traveled 300 head of steer per day. And over 5 days did 6,000 heads of steer. So from Pennsylvania, from Maryland, from West Virginia, they gathered 6,000 heads of steer right there by what is now the King Street Metro, and for 5 days traveled them down to Orange.
There we go. So many incredible stories. The beautiful finished product over here. A Taste of Alexandria is available for pre-order now. Just go to alexandrialivingmagazine.com/A Taste of Alexandria.
Just in time for the holidays. Meanwhile, Great Day Washington will be right back.